All right, hello everybody. We are back with another episode of Getting Competitive in Hearthstone. This time, our opponent is BitbyBit, who has a Twitch. So before anything gets started, give him a follow. His name should be in the top right of the screen. If it's not, because I'm bad at editing, it is down in the description. Go give him a follow. He's a cool player, really cool, accommodating guy. And also the bottom left, there should be our record. I'm not going to spoil it this time, but I will say my play as Warrior could have been a little better. But we'll get into that as it goes. So our first game of the Concede listener series, and huge shout out to them. If you don't listen to Concede, go listen to them. They'll also be in the description below. Not only because they make good content, but also because they're hosting the series. It's just awesome. So we're playing Warlock versus Libroom Paladin in the first round. I start out with a tempo play of 1-3, shuffle some soul fragments into the deck. They start with the first day of school, which is a really good opening card. I kind of think that card should cost 1, to be honest, but they get Violet Spellwing, which is pretty good minion to get. So we teched in Zephyrus this time. If you watched the lineup video, I kind of talk about why. And the more I bring this deck to scrimmages with like Cyan Sheepies or tournaments, the more I don't really know what to put in there instead of like Cobalt Sticky Fingers. I played some games on ladder. There's Ticketus. Ticketus is like one of the best cards in this deck. I played some games on ladder with the Dragon Packers like Galakrond, Monarch Artificer, Crazed Netherwing. It just didn't feel good. My hand was super clunky. We're just taking value trades. We're keeping their stuff off the board so they can't buff their minions, essentially. So just let me talk about their lineups. They brought Combo Rogue, Zoo Warlock, and Libroom Paladin. I banned Libroom Paladin because... No, I didn't ban Libroom Paladin. I banned Zoo Warlock because it's such a wild card. Either that deck just pops off and it's horrible to deal with, or you can just deal with it. And I didn't want to take the 50-50, and I was kind of... My lists are all kind of... teched towards Rogue, I guess. So we don't really have much of a good hand right now. We have a bunch of removal, which is nice. Dark Skies is a great card. And we just kind of clear their board here. We're looking for our Galakrond pieces, which we don't really have any of, to be honest. We want to corrupt this Ticketus too, because if we can burn the Adrin, we kind of burn their win condition. The fact that they also haven't played any zero-cost Librooms is really, really nice. But the opening bit of this game is kind of slow. But I really am happy I brought Galakrond Warlock, because I am pretty efficient with this deck. I kind of understand how it works. We're just going to keep shuffling in soul fragments into our deck so we can get that militia really good next turn. One thing I have liked about this very casual series, always tap last, good order, is that I am understanding it a little better. Like, my lineup changed from last week. I realized that, what did I bring last week? Last week I brought Galakrond Warlock, ETC Warrior. Oh, I don't remember the Libroom Paladin. I realized I wasn't very good with Libroom Paladin, and I realized that I could be a little bit better with my Warrior choice. So they've actually set up a pretty good board here. Now, the way that they're trying to counter like a Plague of Flames, but if we get a Galakrond piece off the top, we're pretty happy. We do disconnect twice in this game, unfortunately. It's not going to really change anything, but it's going to lag up the game just for a second. And we're kind of counting right here, like, how much do we have with Militia? Militia summoning 5, so that's a total of 15 damage. And unfortunately, I don't think we can actually get through it with Militia. I could be wrong, but I'm counting right now, which is always be counting. Like, that's important. Also, turn your cell phone on silent when recording a voiceover. Also important. I don't know, wait, they have 14. Yeah, Militia clears their big taunts and then can send... I don't think I can send another one in, though, but it also corrupts Ticketus, which is great. I don't think I can Dark Skies and clear, though. Yeah, so there's Militia. Militia will clear their taunts because 14 is less than 15. It's called math, ladies and gentlemen. And my game for this first game kind of lags a little bit, and I'm not very happy with it, but we get there. We get the turn done. We don't rope till the end. One thing I am happy about is that I felt like I brought decks that I'm a little more efficient with. I just need to kind of learn the ins and outs of those decks a little better. So they're drawing here, and you're going to kind of see what they're looking for once we play this Ticketus. Like, I actually think that this is, when we play Ticketus, spoiler, it is the best Ticketus ever? Question mark? So they're going to trade the 5/5 into our Militia, the Braggart into our Militia. We're also at 12, which is not like a fantastic place to be. So I actually don't think we can play Ticketus this turn. There's too much pressure on the board. We can just Dark Skies this pretty easily, though. I was also thinking at this time we could just play Ticketus and eat it, and then play a Soul Shear, take 2 damage off the board, heal for 5. Technically only take 1, but I think playing Dark Skies is probably the better play. We don't tap here because our life is getting low, and we just want to keep healthy. There's a Salat's Pride. An Ooze, that's texting the deck for weapons, obviously. But consistently playing 3 minions a turn is really good. I could Ticketus here. I think my play here, though, is to play Siamat, trade into the 2/3s, corrupt the Cascade Disaster again, and then follow up next turn with a Ticketus Cascade Disaster. Galakrond Warlock does not like pressure. Like, anything that plays Ticketus doesn't really like pressure. Oh, that's a better play than what I was thinking. Yeah, kill a 3 attack, keep your Siamat as a 6/2. Past Sam is intelligent. Like, don't listen to present Sam. Past Sam is a big-brained individual. Siamat is like one of those cards that we really don't want in the deck, but it corrupts Ticketus. Like, if the meta changes, Twisting Nether's better, but the meta isn't really board full of minions. It's really 1 or 2 big, dumb things. So they haven't played any Librums at this point. They've used both their brooms. But this is why we got Cascade Disaster corrupted twice. Get some healing, which is really nice. 2 sack packs. The healing in this deck is so weird. We also haven't drawn Galakrond Priestess. They haven't drawn their Librums. We haven't drawn any Galakrond pieces yet. So we're going to drop Ticketus, and this is the best Ticketus ever. 1 Librum, 2 Librums, a Librum of Hope, High Abyss, and Liadrin. There's no Penflinger can't go off anymore. It can, but not infinitely. They have lost 8 healing. They've lost Abyss to dig out more buffs. So now and we also got with the Liadrin, so they can't get enough hopes back. Like, that's just such a good burn. Like, it's amazing. They are just trying to put on pressure now. That's all they can do. Is hope to get me 2-0. I am actually not out of this yet because I burned out their win conditions. I have to draw some Galakrond pieces. Soul Fragments are helpful. Healing's always very good. But School Spirits isn't going to clear this board. Well, Plague of Flames, Owl. But we also just got to 15. We can afford to tap and heal again, apparently. Another Cascade Disaster isn't going to do what we needed to. Good pass, Sam. You got the order right. School Spirits first, And we just need to keep off the pressure until we can put our pressure back on. But we're kind of on a clock. Like, we have no way to corrupt this Cascade Disaster in our hand. Zephyrs is still active. This, what's the 4-mana 4/5 called? They can't draw cards right now because we're not Galakrond. They are running Cobalt Sticky Fingers. BitbyBit told me post-game that he was teching for Shaman. I did tell him I wasn't going to bring Shaman or Rogue, but that's okay. So we're going to draw because we need to find cards, and thank God we have a Galakrond card at this point. I'm going to heal and just keep up my own survival. I can Plague of Flames too. I don't think there's really any point. We want to save the Plague of Flames, even though we have Cascade Disaster for a Libroom of Hope. Kind of this too. But I mean, this is still pressure. Like, they're dealing 5 right now. They have a Pen Flinger. I was trying to see if that Cascade Disaster was corrupted. It's obviously not, but they're putting on pressure. They have lethal on board. Like, if I can't clear this, but we can, luckily. We play our Shield of Galakrond this turn, which also corrupts that Cascading Disaster. We can draw with the... it's not Devoted Maniac. What's that 5/4 called? Whatever it is, it can draw us cards, which is great. So again, disconnected. Sorry about that, guys. So we're going to heal for 5 again. Plague of Flames, get all their stuff off board. The last big thing they have is a Libroom of Hope. Oh, we're not going to Plague of Flames. Never mind. Past Sam has a plan. I do think we just want to keep up the defense against with Plague of Flames. Plague of Flames is just a good card. Like, it's like the best card in this deck, besides Galakrond maybe. But they have to trade either 2 minions into this or their face. It's a good taunt. Next time we're drawing for 3. I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna look it up while they take their turn because it's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, so there is the Bear-Off, which, if we can destroy it, it doesn't particularly matter, right? Because it's going to destroy their whole board. Luckily, we have the draw 3. We have more Healing Soul Fragments. Failed Worshipper. Knew it started with a V. So we heal again, heal some more, which is great. This deck has so much healing if you can draw. Play a taunt again. And we're just going to clear their board, because even if only one of them's left, it doesn't really matter. And it might kill Bear-Off, which it does, which clears their board. And I don't really think they have an out besides one Libroom of Hope. And we have a Cascade Disaster. And that's going to be the first game. So guys, we are not 0-2. We have won 1 round of a game in Conquest. And that feels pretty damn good. And now we have my Silas OTK Warrior. So, okay. So I think it's a mistake to bring Silas OTK Warrior. And here's why. First of all, I do not play my best in this game. I'll admit that in these games. And I want to reiterate from my last video, just because I don't say I play well doesn't mean my opponents don't play well. But the mistake for bringing Silas, I think, is because people know it's Silas immediately, they can form a game plan. Whereas if you're on ladder and you're queuing to warrior, you're like, well, I'm not sure if this is Silas yet, or if this is ETC, or if it's bomb or enrage. So having that kind of knowing that my opponent bit by bit can create a game plan, much easier. And we're kind of lagging a little bit, but so we have a lot of removal in hand. And I think my main issue is I definitely just play this way too fast. And I use my removal way too fast, which has always kind of been my issue, the mistakes I've made with playing Warrior. what if I play Minefield here? That's kind of a mistake. I guess my thought process is, if we play Minefield now, they can't Hand of Adaldus, they can't buff. We have more removal. We have a Sword Eater, so I don't think that's the worst play, but I think there are better. I think holding back, there's something to be said for that. And in the Rogue matchup, spoiler, I guess I just spoiled this. I do not make it out of this alive. But in the Rogue matchup, I make a major misplay, and that kind of cost me that game. We're going to get better at not spoiling it, I promise. We're going to get better at not spoiling games. It's kind of one of those things where, like, I already know what happens, and it's like, it's fine, whatever. So they can actually get the high Abyss here, and I'm really hoping they're a high roll, but we have Brawl if they do. Luckily, they don't high roll like crazy. And they are going to play a 1-drop also. This is actually pretty good. They know it's a Broom. They do know it's in my deck. They know I do have a Blade Storm, so they can kind of get around this a little bit. But we're going to trade our face into the Abyss and then Minefield, which will clear the board. So I definitely think I don't play these matchups the way I should. I kind of think that I get a little too gun happy with my control tools and not be patient and wait for the stuff, the good, the juice I need. But let's sit through this and see how we do. And see, let's instead of criticizing myself this time, let's figure out what I can do better when I make these plays. Because that's kind of the point of this, right? Like, I'm not gonna, this series isn't called Become a Grandmaster in 30 Days or Die, right? This is this is getting competitive, understanding the competitive landscape and how to be better at it. Armoring past there was probably the right play, but it feels really, really bad. But we can use one of our Shield Slams here to clear this board. If we do that, which I think we end up doing, we only have one, we can't use the second Shield Slam. But look at this hand now. Like, we kind of got in this weird position where we have the board clear, but we don't have any draw on the horizon. There's a Cutting Class and 2 Battle Rages in the deck. We don't have any combo pieces. We have 2 to 3 control pieces left. And if we use one of those control pieces, those being Skipper, Barov, we lose armor gain in the future. So I think knowing that is important, and knowing where those control breakpoints are is also very important. There's a second Skipper. I think what I should do here is play a 12-10 in Deathwing. Armor Pass is actually probably an okay play too, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think there's too many. I don't think I need to. I think that. Blah blah blah. That was a weird thing to say. I think that I should put on more pressure than I need to, when we're just a control deck, right? Like, we just want to control and space out our control tools so that when they commit a lot, they lose. Like, and I think realizing that now, I think I should take this to ladder a little bit and work on it. But we'll talk more about that in the next lineup video. Hey, loser. I will say, maybe they should, make it so I'd never have to hear "Hey, loser" again. But they're gonna play Broom. Okay, I was gonna say they're not gonna face Tank 12. But see, kind of the issue right now is that I'm going to play a Battle Rage here, and I shouldn't. I should just Armor Pass. I'm trying to draw into my combo, which I draw a combo piece, but that's not a very good play. There's no pressure on board. Why am I doing that? just wait to get the Armorsmith Bloodsworn combo go off and stuff. So that's something to remember for the future. Where those breakpoints are, how they work. Because I do like this deck, but just because I like a deck doesn't mean I'm sufficient with it. So that's a good thing to remember too. Like, there was probably no need to play Battle Rage there. It's a little laggy, guys. I apologize about that. I think Deck Tracker kind of takes up a lot of energy for this computer. Honestly, I do know that I Battle Rage here because I remember this play. I should really just wait. Just Armor Pass. There's another combo piece. So another mistake that I do in this game is I play Silas, and I kind of changed my win condition from Silas to Rattlegore, which probably isn't the best idea. And I don't need to play Barov here. Just getting armor is good. Like, I get very gun shy in what I'm doing right now, and that's a mistake. Especially because I've used both the Battle Rages. My only control tool in my hand right now is a Brawl. And my thought process with this is, and it's a very dumb thought process, it is that I can switch to Rattlegore. I just gained 21 armor. If I get a second Shield Slam, we're in pretty good business. But, when I draw my second Shield Slam, we're in good business. And I think against Libroom Paladin, their ability to just kind of ping you down is probably not favored against you. It's probably in their favor because of that. So that's good to remember. I also should remember, I really don't know what I should remember. I think I should just kind of like soak this in and learn from it, because there are things to learn here, and I think playing those Battle Rages was like the main thing. But we gain a bunch of armor, but they're still just clearing the board. And this is when I stupidly play, I believe, the Silas. I don't think I should be playing Silas here, but I think I do because I don't feel like there's any other good options, which is another mistake. Throwing your win condition out and then lay in a secret, it's never a very good idea. You can just Brawl here. And I think when I play Silas at the wrong time, I'll tell you why when that happens. My thought process at the time. This is when you don't trust Pass Sam, by the way. This is when you're like, Pass Sam, it's been dumb. So I think there's a Sword Eater still in this deck, if I remember correctly. Oh, good, he didn't play Silas yet. He did the Brawl thing. Good job, Pass Sam. You're learning. You're remembering. The 6/6 surviving kind of sucks, but we'll armor up, push some damage face. If we can get some chip damage in, it's good for us. Yeah, there's a Sword Eater. So we don't have a second any more pirates in the deck, which we should remember. And we get 7 more armor and a Shield Slam, we win. Oh, they stole our Ankar too. And this is kind of where it goes south. Like, if we saved our removal tools a bit, we'd feel much happier. We didn't, obviously. And he ends up protecting the Braggart from a Silas. Because I kind of try and pivot here. I'm like, well, we can make our win condition Rattlegore. He told me after this game he didn't think he played this game very well. I thought he played this pretty well. I think he humble bragged. Don't tell him I said that. But he definitely humble bragged. And there goes all the armor we had. It's all gone now. There's the second Armorsmith, which is great. But this board is just so threatening. I could either just play a taunt and die, or my thought process here is let's Armorsmith Skipper, Armorsmith, and then give them the lackey. Give them the Skipper. We can try and transition to Radogor. The issue with this game is we just used our control tools way too early and didn't space them out. We did it really well in the last one. And when I was just dumping Battle Rages, I kind of said to myself, we gotta relax. Like, we are playing too quickly. And I also even put the Silas in the wrong spot. I should have put it on the other end, but, you know, mistakes were made. Yeah. Unfortunately, I do not think I will be bringing a warrior to my next Conquest matchup. Like I said, I'll do a video on the next lineup in sometime this week, midweek, probably, along with a gameplay video. Not on the same day, though. But, I mean, they can't play Armorsmith here. Penfinger said they have to trade that off first. We get some armor. We got 10. We only need 15 more, and then we can kill him. Oh, no, we can't, because we gave away Silas. Oh, this game was a mess. We're not going to be able to get there. Not on this one, guys. But that's okay. I feel like in this video, this match, we did learn a little bit. We kind of learned what our mistakes were, where we could have improved. I mean, he's giving us armor. If we kept Silas we'd be in like really good shape. But now there's the 8/8. Unless we top deck Brawl, it's gonna be really hard to come back with this. Oh, and there's the Bloodsworn, but I mean they have 13 on board, leaves us with 9 health. We can do stuff, but it's not gonna really matter here in the end. We're kind of done. I think we're kind of out of gas. Who knew the control deck would run out of gas before the mid-range deck? Actually, probably most people. Mid-range usually beats control, I think. It's a weird rock, paper, scissors thing I don't fully understand yet. But there's 2 more damage. They have 9 going face. We're no more armor. There's Liadrin. And that is actually probably going to be the end of this game. There's no way really out of this. I think I wait for the top deck, but I think this is going to be a concede. So, while we watch minions hit minions, the big issue here in this match was really that I spent resources too quickly. If we got to this part of the game and we had more control tools, we wouldn't have to use Silas, and we'd be in a much better spot. So that's going to be a bottom right for game number 2. It's unfortunate. Like, I like this deck, but I did not pilot it very well this round. So against Rogue. So there is a huge misplay, and it's because I miscounted. I'll point out when it happens. And again, I think I can navigate these decks better. I don't think I'm navigating them optimally. I think it was like, I partially, I do think it was I was pretty excited that I won my first game in competitive Hearthstone. It didn't take 7 episodes. We got there, right? We did well. We played Galakrond. We played a deck we knew. But they're playing Rogue, and I was told after this, Rogue is their bread and butter. They understand it. And I mean, that's a really good opening turn. Swindle, draw 2 into Wand Thief. So we get Radogor. Wish we had you last game. Yeah, we can't do anything here. We can play our Soulbound Ashtongue, I guess, and pass. And Enchantress Flow is such a good spell to get, especially for this deck. So this is just Armor Pass. Again, game plan is the same. Use removal. And then hopefully kill him with Silas. If not, we have Radogor. But they're gonna swindle again. Like they had a really good opener. Prep swindle into Wand Thief and Cats. I think what we should do here is play Ankar. Yeah, so we're gonna play Ankar and draw some cards. So again, we are a combo deck who wants to draw their deck. So let's draw some cards. Bone Wraith is really good too. I use the Shield Slam eventually, probably too early also. And that's a mistake. I think holding on these Shield Slams for specific targets is what we want to do. Luckily, we have the second one in our hand. We're going to end up doing an Evil Quartermaster. And we're just going to trade into the Bone Wraith, clear it off. Get another card out of our deck. Unfortunately, it's not a risky skipper, but we get more weapons. We do have a Cutting Glass in this deck to eventually draw cards, which is great. Another Alley Cat for another Reborn mini. It's really good. They have a really good start. I forgot how good their start was. Like, that's a nutty start. There's some more health gain, and they're putting on pressure relatively well. We don't have a ton of control tools in our hand, so we better use the ones we have wisely. But we'll just play our Sword Eater, get a taunt up, and then trade it in, and then trade off the 1/1s. The 1/1. Pretty standard stuff. No reason to do anything else. Playing well right now. But I haven't learned Rogue well enough to know how to counter it, other than hope they don't do nutty things. Admittedly, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. So they eviscerate our 2/3 and play an Edwin. So this is where this misplay happens, and this is the turn that I lost the game. Like, I realize that in this moment. I end up playing, and we'll talk about what happens. I'm counting right now, see if there's a way I can clear the Edwin. And my thought process is I can play the 1/3 into the Blade Fist, trade the Blade Fist in to the 8/8, and then trade my face in and take 8, and that's fine. And I drop an Armorsmith also. I mean, a Risky Skipper also. I could also coin out Armorsmith with this turn. I forgot what I do to actually clear it. Another play, which is much easier, is Blade Fist. Yeah, Blade Fist, coin, armor up, Shield Slam would do the same exact thing. But playing this Risky Skipper here is a mistake. And I even realized that in the middle of this. Yeah, why I should have coined and drew first. And then I would have found the shield block. Yeah, so playing the Risky Skipper there ends up being my mistake, because now they can trade it off. You never leave a risky skipper up. So that play right there was the play that lost me this game. That's not, again, when I say that, that's not to say that they don't play well, but this mistake really just cost the game, unfortunately. There were so many other outs, and if I had the skipper here, I could have cleared this. I obviously don't have the skipper here, so I can't clear it. And if I had the skipper, I could gain armor and draw. So always, always, always draw first. And that's probably the biggest lesson I can give you from this game. So I'm not salty about this. I promise. We would have had a nutty follow-up, but excuse me. We are going to try and salvage this, and I kind of realized it's going to be really frickin' hard. I was going to say frickin'. I don't know why I said I was going to say frickin'. We got a Brawl here, which is good. I mean, Brawl's a great card. And we have a 1/7 up, which is not that threatening. And now, if we get the second Risky Skipper, we're in good shape. Unfortunately, they got pretty good minions off of their Jandis. And then they get Potions of Illusion. To be fair, this still would have happened with the Potion of Illusion if even if I save the Risky Skipper. So, I mean, that's a really good thing that they got. And they really understand this rogue and how this matchup works because they're playing for value and not just put pressure on and kill me. They're kind of doing it at the same time. They're creating value and putting on pressure. It doesn't help that my hand is pretty bad, to be honest. Minefield might clear 2 things, but I mean, like, it's just going to be so hard to come back from this. And based on the timestamp I'm looking at, it's not going to be it's not going to be pretty long before that bottom left happens. Excuse me. I'm talking for 35 minutes. My voice is a little, my throat's a little dry. That was the best we could do. It's not great, but it takes care of some stuff. They actually are able to clear off the 2/5 Get another Miscreant. Yeah, they're just kind of having the field day at this point. Random spell. So it's kind of, we're on our last turns. If we can stabilize, we're good, but I don't. We kind of wish we had that Risky Skipper at this point, right? Because they're going to push 9 to face right now. And that sets us to 3. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I like this deck a lot, but that Risky Skipper was a huge misplay on my part. That's something to remember in the future, too. Like, now we know. There's Barov, and Barov would be great if we had a Risky Skipper, too. So, I think there's a play here where you Barov Armorsmith Barov Minefield and hope to just clear everything. But I saw the end of this, and I know that it's not really going to matter. Yeah, I can't really do much, unfortunately. Yeah, we're kind of SOL at this point. Unfortunately, you can use my last Shield Slam. I trade the Blade Fist into the to the Bone Wraith. Clear the board with a Shield Slam. And then pass. Unfortunately, one of the spells they discovered is Arcane Missiles, which you're about to see right here. I think. That's a good board too. But Secret Passage. I think they get a Wand Thief off of this, but they do get Arcane Missiles somehow. They play the quest thing. Yeah, there's the Wand Thief. I guess they weren't guaranteed to get burned, but look at that. Arcane Missiles plus Dagger is going to be lethal. That's going to be bottom left for me also. They played this rogue so well. Like, looking back at this, I'm kind of like pretty in awe of how they played this rogue. Like, they played this very well. But guys, thanks for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to Concede and check out BitbyBit. See you all in the next one.